Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to my channel. This is Victorious Gaming. Today we're gonna take a look at this Korean guy, Amadeus Cho, to see how well he is and to see what he can do for us at his level 60 or gear 20 and with no C.T.P. As far as custom gear goes, I didn't go for Rage because we know that Rage is the best C.T.P for PvE game mode, so I actually slapped on a normal damage proc Obelisk instead of any C.T.P. So let's see if this normal damage proc Obelisk actually works for Amadeus Cho or not. If it works, if it is amazing, I think it's not a bad idea to make Amadeus Cho a totally free to play character, and I think that's what most of the players are looking for. So today I'm going to try out Amadeus Cho in some of the World Wars Ultimate to see how well he is with just a normal damage proc Obelisk, no C.T.P. So now let's take a look at the rest of my build. Well, the build is pretty average, not everything maxed out yet except for the ignore defense and cooldown, which are already maxed out. And then all the gears are at 20 with at least 2 5-star physical attack Urus on each of the gear, with some of the cooldown and ignore defense Urus as well. Because I was lacking of this before I slapped on this cooldown and ignore defense Urus. And then for the skill set, only 3, 4, 5 are maxed out because these are the only skill that you are going to use in the battle. 3 has the attack accumulation, the immunity, and some of the attack buff as well, which is very nice. And then the 4 is very nice as well. It has a healing, it has an all defense now that begins at 30% and stay up to 60% for 10 seconds, which is very nice. And then the 5 has some all attack buff as well, and in addition to that damage reduction. So that's pretty cool actually. So now let's take a really quick look at his skill rotation in the preview skill. Alright guys, so the 1 and the 2, you can basically ignore them or just throw them into your dustbin because basically they are just there for fun. You're not gonna use them in the battle, to be very honest. So the actual skill rotation is pretty standard here, but a little bit complicated at the same time. So you go with 3, 4 and 5, which is pretty standard. So you start off with 3, but don't cancel your 3 immediately. Only cancel 3 when you see those icon pops up. You can see that at the top left corner, start from 13 seconds. That's where you will get all those buffs. Alright, so let me do one more time. Go with 3, then wait for 1 second. So now it's the time to go with 4. Once you see all that buff pops up, just cancel it right away into your 4. And let your 4 to play out fully to get that all defense down. Because that all defense down will only be applied at the very end of the 4 where he kicked the stone from the sky. But the all defense down icon doesn't seem to be available here, so I can't show you now. But we will see how it works when it comes to the actual gameplay later. Then once you finish with the 4, just go with 5 and let it play out fully as well. Quite a long and cool skill animation here. Alright, so you start with 3, wait for 1 second and go with 4 and let it play out fully. Alright, so now it's the time to go with 5 and let it play out fully as well. So the skill rotation is actually pretty straightforward. For the ISO set, we got Power Angry Hulk ISO set here, and then the uniform is at heroic level with some of the physical attack and ignore defense as well. And I actually have listed the uniform options somewhere around here in case you're looking for it. So the first one, we got Beast with his Uncanny X-Men uniform, which is pretty trash. And then we got Lunar Snow Lifestyle Series 1 uniform as a second uniform option, which is very nice. And then we got Rocket Raccoon with his in-game uniform, Captain America Avengers 3099 uniform, and the last one we got the Ant-Man team suit from his in-game uniform. So these are the uniform options for Amadeus Cho. So without any further ado, let's get right into it against Proxima. Alright guys, so let's do it. Cancel 3, then wait for like 1 second. Everything pops out, then go with 4. Okay, we got the proc here, that's not bad. The damage not bad. And we got the all defense down as well. So let's see how is the damage. And we got the proc here. That is nice. Guys, look at the damage. This is totally crazy. This Korean Hulk just melted the boss completely. 4 bars has been gone with just 1 full skill rotation, which is 3, 4 and 5 within 15 to 20 seconds. That is totally crazy. The all defense now from his 4th skill is really juicy, and then the damage from his 4th skill is not bad as well. When you got things right, you can get 2 damage proc on his 4th skill and the 5th skill as well. But of course there's a best case scenario that we are talking about, because there is some RNG involved when it comes to a damage proc. So yeah, but anyway, the damage from his 4th skill and his 5th skill is more or less the same. Just the end of the 5th skill deal a lot of damage there. So if you miss a proc on his 4th skill, then try to get full damage proc on his 5th skill. The damage is still not bad. Hopefully we can get the proc here. Okay, we got the proc, the damage is not bad as well. Then we got the all defense now. Hopefully we can get the proc here. Alright, so that sucks. I wasted my 5th skill, but that's okay. Alright, so here is a bit annoying because you are out of immunity. His damage is really not bad, but when it comes to the moment where he's out of immunity, this is where you have to be very careful. Because one wrong move, you are toast. He can die very easily. One spear from Proxima and you are done, and you have to restart the game again. That's a bad case scenario that we are talking about. But anyway, he got that raw damage from 2 of his skill, which is very nice. And if you can go with 3, 4, 5, the rotation that we are using right now, he is pretty safe to play actually. Where is the proc? It seems that we have missed a proc here. But anyway, we still make it. With almost 3 minutes left, stage 50 Proxima, that is not too bad for a tier 2 level 60 character. Alright, so now let's try him out against Corvus to see what happens. Alright, so what we're gonna do here is to try to get the full proc at the beginning of the 4th skill and try to get another damage proc somewhere at the halfway of the 5th skill. Because if I get the proc at the beginning of the 4th skill, it will be much easier to trigger the proc again when it comes to his 5th skill. But of course, as I said, there is some RNG involved, so hopefully we can get the damage proc at least at the halfway of his 5th skill. Because the damage from his 5th skill is really not bad along the way, especially at the end of his 5th skill. So by doing this, we might be able to get 2 damage proc on 2 of his skill with just 1 skill rotation, which can give us the best damage output. Both skill has a very long skill animation. If you get things right, you can definitely get 2 damage proc in just 1 skill rotation. But of course, you need to do a lot of practice with it, and it also has some RNG involved as well. So the timing is really important when it comes to a damage proc Obelisk. Alright, so we got the proc here, that's not bad. We are already in phase 2 with just 1 minute, that is really nice. I believe you must be wondering why I wanted to use this kind of skill rotation, trying to get 2 damage proc on 2 skill in just 1 skill rotation. That's because, as I said, the all defense now will only be applied at the very end of the 4th skill, so most of the players will go with cancel 3 and try to cancel the 4 at the very end of the 4, and then try to get full proc on the 5. This is fine as well, but for me, I feel like it's a bit tight and it's a bit difficult, because if you go with this, you might end up getting the proc at the end of the 4 and eventually missing the proc when it comes to the 5. So that is the reason why I would choose to go with this kind of skill rotation by getting 2 damage proc on the 4 and the 5. But of course, you can choose whatever skill rotation that is suitable for you. This is just my way of playing, but you can try it out to see if it works for you or not, if you are planning to use a normal damage proc Obelisk on Amadeus Cho. Alright, so go with 3 and then go with 4. So we got the proc here, that's nice. Hopefully we can get the proc on his 5 as well. Okay, we got interrupted here. Alright, so here is the thing with Amadeus Cho, his main skill. 4 and 5 can be interrupted by the boss, which will put you in a very weird situation, because basically we will only go with 3, 4, 5 and you can't really change the rotation too much. That is because his 4 isn't an iframe. If you don't go with 3, 4, 5, it means that you are out of immunity and you will get one shot. So you cannot use 4 without the buff from 3, otherwise he will just die, get one shot. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I got interrupted again. That sucks. So basically I put in 4 ignore dodge strikers just to make his ignore dodge to 100% because Amadeus Cho has that 20% ignore dodge natively. So 80% from strikers plus 20% would be 100% of ignore dodge. And then Agent Venom basically for his recovery ability, just in case. I got interrupted again. Damn you, Corvus. But anyway, we still make it at the end with 1 minute and 36 seconds left. Stage 60 Corvus, that is pretty decent actually. I could have cleared this much faster, but I just got interrupted by the boss many times. So that's pretty sad. Guys, if you ask me whether this uniform is worthy of the cost or not, I would say a big yes. This is definitely a must-buy uniform for Amadeus Cho at the moment, with that juicy all defense down from his 4th skill and the raw damage from his 5th skill. He can clear stage 50 Proxima and stage 60 Corvus with pretty much time left. That is not too bad for a tier 2 level 60 character with no C.T.P needed. Even my Captain America with his in-game uniform, and in addition to the assistance from a C.T.P of Rage, somehow I still find it very hard to clear stage 50 Proxima with Captain America. So yeah, if a F2P build, if a budget build is what you are looking for, a level 60 Amadeus Cho is good enough, even without a C.T.P. Unless you want to use him to clear stage 70 or stage 80 or above, then you need to have his level 70 or gears 25 and his AWAKEN skill as well. But so far he's doing a very good job here with just purely F2P build. So I would say this is definitely a must buy uniform for Amadeus Cho. Alright guys, please do let me know what do you think of the performance of Amadeus Cho with just a regular damage proc Obelisk, and please do let me know what are the other videos that you will see from me, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell, and thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.